AP did a piece that was so dope. She talked about how all of these different people were crying for like what was it, the bombing they had, the bombing they had.
Yeah,
you had the kids being killed. Then you had the thing in Denver. You had all of these situations where the whole nation mourned. But Trayvon's situation comes up, and we're looking for everybody to cry for our own.
Yeah.
Right.
But we're divided on whether Trayvon is good or bad. It's already known that the dude was walking down the street with Skittles in a cup, and maybe he did do some old crazy. I would do some crazy shit. Like, I think you're stalking me. Hey, this is Ken J. Martin, and I'm from Atlanta. These are the lyrics of me. You know what I'm saying? So it's the division part of it is where we and that's our life too. We've been dividing ourselves and dividing ourselves, and we know it. See, the thing is, we know it, but we don't give a shit. Like, we know exactly what's going on.
Don't know this.
No, they know that divide and conquer. This shit is basic.
It's designed.
European thought. Was down in Mississippi not so long ago. Was a young black boy from Chicago. He stepped down in a southern door, and this young black boy's frightful tragedy we should all remember well. He said the color of his skin was black, and his name, oh, his precious name, Emmett Till. La da 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 da. Said some men they trucking down to a bar, but they beat him out, and they said they had reason, but I disremember word, and they tortured him, and they did some things to evil. There were screaming sounds in the bar, and there were laughter out on the streets. Since was down in Mississippi, not so long ago, was a young black boy from Chicago. He stepped down in a southern door, and this young black boy's frightful tragedy said we should remember well. Said the color of his skin was black, and his name, oh, his precious name was Emmett Till. La da 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 da. Name was Emmett Till. The community changes stuff with Emmett Till. Everybody, we had the way that we taught our history was, it was many movements. It was many movements before the Civil Rights Movement.
Right, and that was the only one that caught. That's the one that
when Emmett Till died, when Emmett Till murdered Emmett Till, that's when everybody was like, you know what? They're gonna kill our kids, and they're not gonna care. You see, and then we gravitated around that one thing, and we got together on one purpose.
Unity.
And
Unifying.
and we got our vote. We got everything we needed because we gravitated around protecting that child. It was the gay dude who created the March on Washington. You don't hear nothing about that. You don't hear about any of this stuff. So when people think about their history and they know it, they begin to get a little hardened by working with someone who won't respect their input. And that's our community. Like, if I'm working my ass off for the community and then you look at me a certain way because of something I can't change, we have a problem.
I guess, we've had this conversation so many times about what do black people do? How do we change our circumstance? But that's the question. What do we do? We've had this conversation so long for so many times, and I don't mean to sound doubtful.
Right.
What do you do and what do you say to those people that have completely lost hope? There's nothing we can do because this is not our world. This system is not built for us, period.
Right.
No matter what we do, what we say, how hard we fight,
right.
It's not going to be picture perfect. So we have to, I guess, figure out how can we win? What can we do?
The only way it's gonna come together is we gotta bridge this gap. Yeah. We gotta bridge the gap, and we can't let them even discourage us. Come on, they can't, and that's why we repeating this stuff right now because we didn't read now.
And we are discouraged somehow. I guess we gotta just build that energy.
Y'all some spoiled brats.
Yeah, there we go.
No. And I won't say you. I won't say you. But here's the thing. Here's the thing.
So how do we do that? Like,
Peep this. Peep this. Okay. Peep this. Peep this. If I got my ass kicked, bit on by a dog, I don't want to hear nothing you little bastards ain't saying. You feel what I'm saying? I don't want to hear nothing y'all talking about until you go research. Until you research, you can't even give me your damn opinion. Period.
But when you don't fit into that, when you're that guy with your pants hanging down and you want to be a rapper, how do you get through to him? Well, he didn't heard all this before. The community messed up. You got to adjust the approach. Hello, my name is Erica Billups. I'm from Sparta, Georgia, and these are the lyrics of life. I feel like we can't come together because of poverty. Anywhere you look in the world, poverty coincides with crime. If you have people that are impoverished, they're going to kill, they're going to commit crime. That's not even just in America or in the black community.
But I don't see how that, like, when you think
our economy is like this. It's made to be like this, period. The few are going to be at the top and the many are going to be at the bottom. So those are some things, like how do we get our hands on that? Down this silly road of repetition, every time I go I immediately start to missing, so I give it a chance thinking things will change. I know from experience that it stays the same. That's when I surrender to your kisses and I fall weak when I hear you start to mention that you love me. Place no one above me, thinking of me with no you. Now that could never be. Up and down and round and round, up and down and round and round. Addicted to your love, it's my drug. You got me riding on this roller coaster of love. It feels like I'm going up and down and round and round, up and down and round and round. Addicted to your love, it's my drug. You got me riding on this roller coaster of love.
Who do y'all think funded the movement, the civil rights movement, when Martin was doing it?
White
Who? Harry Belafonte.
Okay.
Real talk. All we got to do, but this has happened when we have conversations. And I had it with a conversation that I had with Hank Stewart, and then you sit and you find out Harry Belafonte, because when you see him at the award shows, they ain't saying why he there. They're like, oh, he got the Lifetime Achievement Award. The young cats, oh, all right, who the hell is Harry Belafonte? All I remember is Dayo. You know what I'm saying? But this dude believed in us. He financed it. That's why when you see him marching, that's why he's there. It ain't cause, hey, I'm an actor, I'm about to get it up.
I also believe that the community is the source of everything.
Everything.
Like, I think Harry Belafonte did do a lot, but there's no way in the world that whole community could not afford something in there.
But those were the teenagers, though. That was Martin Luther King. They was the teenagers right now. Try to get our teenagers. The only thing they're going to hit is a rave right now.
Because they're trying to believe that they're not on it. But they're being affected by it every single day because they have not seen their history. They don't know their history.
They don't know. They think it's new. My name is Abyss. I'm from Atlanta. And these are lyrics of life. It's been a miseducation, but if they're telling you it's the Middle East and it's all Northern Africa, hint and a half. Damn it, you don't want me to know. So how we go from African American to African to Afro American, like to a hairstyle?
But think about
y'all mullet.
Think about this too. Think about this too. They're African scholars. They're African scholars. We won't listen to our own scholars. You know what I'm saying? Like, we won't listen to our own scholars. Like, if it doesn't come from a certain source, it's not true. And it's
we
so
believe
sad.
that we pay for something. Because here's the thing. Because you can get all of this stuff from your elders. They were here. And that's the whole thing that I'm talking about. We got to build more stuff to where we're not offending our elders.
Yeah.
And we ain't catering to kids that don't know what their history is. And that's what we got to bring back. We got to get more stuff. Here's the thing. I just did an event where the elders and the youth were there. So when the elders and the youth, once they came together, it was almost like, they were like, man, I needed to hear that. You looking like, dang, I ain't spitting nothing but a 16. You don't understand how much life you just put back into me. So I make it a point to go to the old folks' homes. I go to the kids, to daycare centers. I go to kids' camps. So I was watching these cats as kids. Ain't nothing changed since hell. The reason he's talking like how he's talking now, we had something to do with that. Lights out, but the baby's hungry. Stress up their head, they're dependent on me. I'm trying to be friendly, but my burden's lonely. I put my faith in God, depend on Him only. Have grace on my family and homies. I got horsepower, I can't run with these ponies. How sweet the sound, sour the phonies, feeling like Lazarus amidst these zombies. Compared to wading pools, I'm like 2 tsunamis. I was made in this image, the presence is on me. No fear, I'm like a one-man army. Bulletproof spirit, cause the favor is on me. Some rappers straight acting, traded Grammys for Tonys. Black owned, black operated, they can't own me. I don't step, I won't fetch it, that's so corny. Prostitution, they only doing it for money. They rather noose me in the media. Lock my bowels from the poison that they feeding us. Shot down anybody that was leading us. Wrote us criminal like ain't nobody reading books. They play us minimal like all it is beats and hooks. Clock my decimals, that's the greed of a crook. This a given, hard not to get took. Food for thought, y'all eat, I cook. This ain't weak and I ain't shook. These jokers playing spades, I ain't the book. They know that I'm king, but they playing me rook. Get your hands off me, baby, leave me put. You probably know this if you was reading a book. It's like a burnt offering, I leave a mic in soot. I run lines like an athlete's foot. Hallelujah, I think they trying to give me the hook. But change gonna come whether they like it or not. They say freedom, it ain't free, it might cost me my knot. Said the enemy is salty, starting to feel like Lot. Same thing got Biggie and Tupac shot. We supposed to move mountains, but we stuck on these rocks. Got some big shoes to fill, I double up on my socks. We on a shoestring budget and it's tied up in knots. Got a black president, yeah, his name is Barack. But if my freedom got the cost, y'all can give me a box. I'd rather walk it out with God. Call me Enoch. We got the internet at our disposal. Like, you got the world at your fingertips. Cats will not leave their block. They will not leave their block, and then they wonder why it's so skewed what they're thinking. Right. So when I come through,
ideas are only based around their block.
The idea, they only can tell you between BP, some Chinese food.
A lot of people from my hometown like it.
It's like that. It was like that right there. I grew up right here.
He grew up right there where they don't do it.
Yeah.
They probably get the boulevard.
It was so amazing, like, cause I did some. The way my life was shaped, I used to do like something that I'm doing with the artists, with the kids in this same neighborhood, right? I went to join this church so that I could get help to help them. Like, and I understood because people would come, you know, you have your colleges, you have your all this coming to the project, and they'll come and speak and they'll do all of this stuff and disappear. But they created a hostile situation with the drug dealers that's next to you that you got to see every day. You know what I'm saying? So, and my idea to create the solution, we went back to your solution, is to take ownership of our community again. Like, it's hard to talk about going and doing something when you're just visiting a place. When you stay there, you have to create change. You have to make it.
You have to respond,
and you have to respond because it get dangerous for you, your child, and all of that. And again, if you revert back to the Bible, it's a story of Nehemiah. Nehemiah was so dope about it. Like, if you read Nehemiah, like he was cool. He had everything he wanted. He was a king bearer. He looked down on Jerusalem, was like, oh damn, this is it's real. Like, shit is real down here. Like, I'm serious. He was just like, it's real down there. If we don't feel for each other, there's no change that's gonna ever happen. If I can find a reason to hate you over love you, there's nothing that will ever happen. You deserve what you got. Trayvon, that's what some black people think. Trayvon was walking around with a hood on his head. he was antagonizing Zimmerman. He deserved what he got. That's what they think. That's because you don't have a heart.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
You know, and you're trying to, and I try
to rationalize,
push it into like, come
right.
on.
But if you think about,
you look just like him, and you gonna say that?
Right. But if you think about like the situation with Nehemiah, when that thing happened, he went down there. He came up with a plan. First, his plan was, you know, like, I know these niggas don't do nothing if I don't put some reason behind them. You're gonna build with your family behind you, because it was people outside of there. It was people outside of there that wanted to attack me. But you're not gonna let anything happen to your daughter, to your child, to your wife, to the people in your family. So you're gonna build with one hand, and you're gonna have a sword in the other. That's a pistol and some bricks that you're building with, right? And we're gonna fix the wall. We're gonna fix our defenses first. Right. When our defenses is up, we can clearly build a community inside of this wall. The power now is so dispersed. It's out. Yeah, so it's like this is the time where instead of trying to create a million different things,
right,
to unify and say, okay, again, if we return back to a situation, because until it was happened before the voting right now. So if we return back to the situation again, this is the time when we should all rally. And when we rally together, okay, what is the plan? Well, we need to locate inside of a community that we still own. Because the dome is about to be built, and I bet you it's going to do exactly what was done over here in Portland. I'm from Portland. It was the saddest shit to see people not knowing where they were going when they got those notices. It was the saddest shit to see people having no idea what to do because they spent their whole life in this community. It was sad to see when the black people Comcast came through and took up the property by paying somebody $10,000 in the house for $100,000. But you don't know it because you've been staying in this whole area your whole life and it don't look like it's gonna be worth nothing. But somebody else has chess going on where you're playing checkers.
They doing it right now
right.
in Detroit. We set sail on life's wings amongst kings and queens, royalty on different scenes. My shoulders are here for you to lean when walking is just too hard, when your self-esteem is just too scarred, when your freedom has been replaced with bars. Amputated opinion just means no reaching for the stars. Nowadays inspiration comes in small jars, and we still gotta play the cards despite poker face, cause you got to know when to hold them and know when to fold them.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
What are we doing?
Gotta find a solution.
Yes.
What are we doing? Gotta find a solution.
We got poker face. Despite this, we got to save the human race. This was nothing about black or white. This is about wrong and right. Yo, they killed brother Trayvon. Cats don't understand what are they on, but they say we want to riot, but don't even try it. Yo, check it out. You can feel my gangster in my quiet, but shh, talk is cheap, but actions speak. We got the right to bear arms, but more importantly, we got to show that God said no weapon formed against us will prosper.
Gotta find a solution.
Gotta find a solution. Gotta find a solution. Yes.
Gotta find a solution.
Talk to him, kid.
Gotta find a solution. We know the problem, but we gotta find a solution.
Talk to him, God.
Beyond our faults, beyond our failures. So what are we doing?
What are we doing?
What are we doing? Yeah. What are we doing?
Yeah. Gotta find a solution.
Osaka, talk to us. What are we doing? do when they can't hear what we saying? They don't have no honor for black life. If you don't have melanin, you can't feel this black life. So you give us black death. Thou shalt not kill. 10 commandments. And justice, we demand it.
So what is the solution?
We could get vulgar, but I'd rather build my culture, save my seeds.
The solution.
You gotta have a solution.
What is the solution?
Violence begat violence,
What is the
but
solution?
it's an eye for an eye. You know what it
What is
is?
the solution?
What's the solution?
What is the solution to
Yes.
what we're doing?
Unity.
Tea and candy, Zimmerman, you tripping. They always get away. You had bad intentions. You took my life, so give yours in prison. I'm Trayvon.